right, so here we are. This is my new Sport Haven 20-foot, technically an 18+2 aluminum tilt trailer. I bought it for my Kubota primarily, although it might come in handy for something else. And I'm doing this video because I couldn't find anything else on the internet really about this trailer, short of what the manufacturer says and what I saw with my own eyes. So I figured I'd do a little review and tell you guys a little bit about why I chose this and what I like about this trailer. I bought this for a couple of reasons. One was I definitely wanted an aluminum trailer. I've had steel trailers. I've got a few aluminum trailers now. I just don't want to deal with paint. I don't want to deal with the extra weight and everything else. Another thing I didn't want to deal with was a wood deck for two reasons. One, the weight, and two, they rot away. It's just inevitable. They're not going to last forever. So I wanted an aluminum plank deck. And I bought this trailer from SR1, the location in Loudon, New Hampshire, which is about 2 hours from my house. And I looked at a few different brand of tilt trailer that they had. I chose the Sport Haven for a couple of reasons. One, I was really pleased to see this rail integrated into the design. Even though I'm not going to use it to haul the Kubota, or at least to tie down the Kubota, anytime I'm using it for other things, I like the ability to be able to pop those in and out. This does also have some nice 6,000-pound D-ring recessed hooks. And I'll use the sliding track for tying down implements and other things for sure. The other thing I like about the Sport Haven is that all of the lighting is integrated into the ramp. There's nothing hanging off the side. Some of the other models that I looked at had the light fixtures welded kind of awkwardly on the sides, sometimes in a vertical orientation, sometimes sticking out. Lights sticking off the side are the first things to get hit. The other thing I really like about this trailer is it comes with aluminum wheels. And as nice as those are, I was shocked to find out I actually was able to buy that entire wheel assembly online for I think the list price was $166, and with a 10% off coupon for two, I got two of them for $300 shipped to my door. That's a really good deal. So I'm actually going to put those wheels on one of my other aluminum trailers to match, and I'm going to use the steel wheels that came with that as my spare for this and that trailer. I also like the latch design on this. It's kind of got a double integrated thumb trigger, so it locks down securely, and you release it by squeezing that trigger and popping it open. There's also a safety backup here, which is basically there to pin off the tilt assembly when you're transporting it. And then this has a Stillwell tilt hydraulic system, which is a kind of standard thing. I see a bunch of trailers with it. It's got two positions, unlocked and locked. And I was originally thinking, well, I don't really know why you would need to lock the hydraulics, but then I kind of figured it out. Depending on the length of the vehicle that you're hauling, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get the front wheels over the pivot point before the back wheels hit it. And then you don't want to crush your rocker panels by having that trailer come up. So that's why you do it. You basically would retract this trailer into the tilt position, lock it in that orientation, get your vehicle onto it, both front and rear axle, and then unlock it, which will allow it to tilt down. In the case of the Kubota, I don't need to use that. The Kubota is short enough at only 61 inches of wheelbase that my rear tires are basically on the tractor for, well, almost as far as you can see before it tilts down. The pivot point on this trailer is right where you see that pin between the two axles. So it's almost exactly between the two. And I haven't actually measured it, but I would estimate that it's about halfway on the tilt portion of this trailer, which is 18 feet. So somewhere in the 9-foot range. And one of my concerns with the Kubota was, is it going to be too long the way I typically haul it, which is as you see, with my forks on it and the bucket, because I almost never go anywhere without my forks. And I don't go anywhere without the bucket. Sometimes I'll also haul a York rake on there, which will help, but I also typically have my backhoe installed. Right now I'm in plow mode, so I have a weight box. And while it's probably close to the weight of the backhoe, I don't know exactly. But this works fine. This is the first time I've loaded it today. This is the first time I've ever loaded it. And what I found was I needed to get to the pivot point, let it come down, latch it, and then I backed it up slightly, put the forks under the front rail, and then pulled it forward again, just to give it a little bit of extra tongue weight. I did haul it down on temporary plates from New Hampshire, and it towed beautifully. The Dexter axles, the Dexter brakes worked perfectly. I was super pleased with how they embedded nice and quick. I put an Echo Bluetooth controller. It's the under the dash version, not the one that plugs into your 7-pin. But I used that and mounted it under the dash. You control the settings with your phone, and you can manually activate it with your phone. And otherwise, it's just a typical proportional controller. But it worked great. The brakes bit nicely. It's really very, very nice trailer, the way it towed. Nice and quiet, no banging around, anything like that. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna unload this Kubota and show you a little bit more about this trailer, because I want you to kind of understand the design. So to unload this, all I'm gonna do is unlatch the two sides, and I'm going to open the Stillwell control and release it. That way, as soon as my weight shifts to the behind the pivot point, this trailer will start automatically opening up. Well, you can see we're already tilting, and I'm not that far back. I'm going to see here just about where that transfer point is. Right at the point now where it wants to come down, probably about the neutral position right there. So that's probably a little bit further forward than I would like it to be for this trailer, only because I've got so much space behind me that I'm not really utilizing. But the biggest thing was making sure that I had enough clearance to get my forks, get my bucket, and everything else. And the beauty of it is they're on the ground and right off. Smooth, quick, and easy. I just took a quick measurement of the angle of this, and I got between 10 and 11 degrees, which is about a 2-pitch roof. So very, very navigatable. The other thing you can see here is just how solid this thing is. So these main frame members are 7x2 double boxed aluminum. The main frame here, which runs all the way from the tongue all the way back to that pivot point, are solid aluminum 7-inch members with another additional member down the middle. There's a beefy box mount there for the hydraulic system, which you can see. And then you've got all this mid-span girdering to carry the load and to actually kind of support the vehicle as it's tilting. It's gusseted. It's you know, in my opinion, really, really well built. I love that when this is down, this is sitting directly on the frame rail. It's just a little better shot of how this thing is built. See the pivot pins there and the various cross members. See how that one's actually sloped in a way that when it sits back down, it actually supports the weight of that midspan on that angled centerpiece. Interesting design. See the hydraulics there and the extra blocking that they've put in place, the channel. I should mention this is a 7,000 pound version of this trailer. I believe they call it the AOCPT2070, something like that. And they sell this in a 10,000 pound configuration. I have not looked at it, and I don't know if there's a difference in terms of build quality, the type of supports they use. But for a 7,000 pound GVWR, which is what I was looking for, I think this definitely was built better than the other trailers that I was checking out. I like the way it's put together. The weld quality looks good, and I've welded aluminum. Aluminum's not an easy thing to do, but I'm not seeing a lot of splatter, if any. No sharp edges. I think they nicely deburred things. It's really got some good quality weld. And I should mention, this is not an expensive trailer by the standards of, an aluminum tilt trailer. It's not cheap, but it's not by any means the most expensive model that you can get out there. I did look at some that were $2,000+ more, and I didn't see anything on them that made me think they were built better. If anything, I thought that this was a superior build. So I guess my hat's off to Sport Haven for keeping the price down. The way this tongue assembly is framed out, it's really nice, really cleanly done. Even the front end, it's all fully boxed out. So I think they did a really nice job on this. Everywhere I look, I see nice welds. Somebody knows what they're doing, and that's important. Another feature a lot of these trailers come with is the ability to remove the wheel wells. And certainly I don't need to do that with my Kubota. But I can certainly see if I were to be hauling a car that was lower to the ground, how this would come in handy. Be able to take this thing and just pop it right off and give yourself extra access for height. Because those tires are just maybe 2 inches above the height of the deck. So you can get a pretty low and wide vehicle on there without any real issue. So just to kind of sum it up, I really do like this trailer. I think it's well built. I think it was a good value for the price I paid. I couldn't find one on Facebook for less than this was new, and not even really close. There's not a lot of used ones out there, so I feel pretty confident that if I ever did decide to sell it, I'd get my money back. In general, I think this is a really good buy, and if you're looking for a trailer and you're debating a standard utility with ramps versus a tilt trailer like this, if you're going to be hauling equipment like that, and that's going to be your primary use, like for me, this is just so much easier than dealing with the ramps, making sure everything's properly aligned, worrying about all that weight transfer, things like that. This is quick, fast, and easy. Now, if you were going to be hauling stuff, maybe you're a landscaper and you're going to be hauling multiple lawnmowers or things like that, now this may not make as much sense because it is basically a gravity system, and if you had a bunch of equipment on the front to get it off, it's probably going to be a little bit of a juggle getting things to where it'll tilt and everything else. So if you had multiple pieces of equipment on this, I think it probably would be better in the form of a standard utility trailer with a ramp. But for quick on and off and primarily to haul a single piece of equipment, I think these are a really great way to do it. No ramps, no gates, no nothing to deal with, and just a really solid, nice trailer that hopefully will last me a very long time.